Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Hey everyone, today's video is a repeat video. Actually, one of my subscribers has requested me to add subtitles to my tutorials. So as per her request, I have decided to upload videos in the universal language of English with the main intention of reaching more people globally. So in this video, I'm just going to brief you about what exactly tatting is. So tatting is nothing but a thread work wherein we use thread and some tools like shuttle or needle to create intricate designs or patterns using knots and loops. So with tatting, you can make beautiful laces like these, or you can even make floral motifs like this, a 4-petal flower or 5-petal flowers with or without beads, a 6-petal flower or a 10-petal flower. So you can use these laces or floral motifs to give an additional beauty to your churidar or blouse materials or any other garments. So with this short introduction, let me brief you the requirements for tatting. The first thing that you need is a tatting shuttle, and these are the shuttles that I've been using. Talking about shuttles, there are different varieties of shuttles available in the market. This metallic shuttle is the first shuttle that I used ever since I started learning this skill. It has a pointed tip which is used for pulling out the thread out of the picot for joining purpose, and it is also useful in redoing your work in case you have made a mistake. So this is a plastic shuttle. It's quite big, and I was not comfortable with this shuttle. Then I switched over to this type of pony branded shuttle. It comes with a bobbin and a hook at the tip. So this hook is also very useful in pulling off the thread through the picot, as well as undoing your mistakes. So this is available in 2 colors, blue and yellow. And these are the latest shuttles that I've been using, and I find these plastic shuttles to be the most comfortable ones. So though they are smaller than these, you can wind 5 to 6 meters of thread at a time. The next thing that you need is a thread. So there are 2 types of thread. One is a silicone thread. This gives a glossy finish to most of my patterns, and so I prefer using silicone threads. The next one is the anchor cotton crochet thread. It's available in different sizes, 10 grams, 50 grams. It goes on like that. If you're a beginner, you can use anchor cotton crochet thread size 10. So these are the 2 things that you require to start shuttle tatting. Now I'm going to show you how to wind thread onto the different types of shuttles. If we closely observe the metallic shuttle, the inner bridge has a gap. So shuttles with this kind of bridge need to be wound in this way. So you take the thread from the ball of thread, and then you pass the thread in the space between the 2 ridges of the bridge area of your shuttle, and you just keep on rotating in a circular movement till the desired length of your thread is wound. So this is how we wind this type of shuttle. So once the desired length of your thread is wound, you just cut it off and start tatting. Now for the shuttle which comes with a bobbin inside, first take the bobbin out of the shuttle case. You will observe a small hole on one of the sides of the bobbin. For this type of shuttles, what you have to do is take your thread from the spool of thread and then pass it through the center way out of the hole, and then you just hold it up and start winding to and fro. Okay, keep changing the sides of your bobbin so that the thread is wound evenly on the mid bridge of your bobbin. So once the desired length of thread is wound, just cut it off from the spool of thread and then take the shuttle case and hold the shuttle in such a way that the hook points towards your right side if you are a right-handed tatter. And at the same time, make sure the thread that's coming out of your bobbin is also towards the right side. So in this position, you just insert the bobbin into the shuttle case, and now you are ready to tat. For this kind of shuttle, what we have to do is take the thread from your ball of thread and pass it through the center hole, bring it out of the other side, and you can either hold it like this and start winding, or put a knot bigger than the hole and you just keep winding in a circular movement, making sure that the sides of the shuttles are changed periodically to check whether the thread is wound in a uniform manner. So once you have wound enough thread, you just cut it off from the ball of thread and you just start tatting. Now I'm going to tell you a few technical terms that are used in tatting. So mostly you will be hearing these two terms often: ring and chain. If you look at this pattern, this is what we call as a ring, and the lower part which connects two rings is what we call as chain. This ring and chain is made up of double stitches and picots. Double stitches are also called as knots and picots are also called as loops. One double stitch is made of two half stitches, first half stitch and the second half stitch. And when you talk about the rings, there are different types of rings and chains like split ring, floating ring, mock ring, dimple ring, and it goes on. I'm now going to demonstrate how to tat double stitches in shuttle tatting. Take the shuttle that has been bound with thread, hold the thread leaving an inch gap between your thumb and pointed finger, and then wrap the thread around the remaining fingers of your left hand and bring it to the starting point, and there you pinch it up. Okay, now you formed a loop. You will also see two types of thread. This is the main thread or the hand thread, and this is the shuttle thread that's coming out of your shuttle. Now what you have to do is hold the shuttle on your right hand between your thumb and pointing finger, and using the remaining three fingers of your right hand, just bend over the thread that's hanging out of your shuttle like this. Make a twirl like this. Now you see the shuttle has come below the shuttle thread. Now pass the shuttle beneath and above the hand thread, and when you take it out, you will see a loop that's formed on the hand thread. Now this loop has to be transferred onto your shuttle thread. So for that, what you have to do is just loosen your middle finger of your left hand and tighten the shuttle thread. Wait till the knot gets transferred onto the shuttle thread. Once it gets transferred, then pinch that knot. This is the first half of the double stitch. Okay, and for the second half of the double stitch, take the shuttle above and under the hand thread. Okay, and when you pull it out, you see the loop being formed on the hand thread. Now loosen your middle finger and tighten the shuttle thread. You find the knot being transferred onto the shuttle thread. Now you have put the second half of the double stitch. That makes one double stitch. So just see how I'm doing the second double stitch. Okay. Now after each and every knot, as a beginner, make sure the shuttle thread is passing freely in and out of the knots. Now when you pull the shuttle thread from below, the loop enlarges. That gives more space for you to tat. And when you pull the shuttle thread above, the loop becomes smaller. Okay, so this is how you will be checking whether the knot is transferred onto the shuttle thread or not. If the knot is not transferred onto the shuttle thread, this thread will not freely move like this. So this is one indication whether you're doing it correctly or not. Okay, so let's do the third double stitch. Initially you will not get it. Keep practicing. The more you practice, the easier you'll get it. Okay, so now I have put 5 double knots. It's time for me to put the picot. So again, for putting the picot, what you have to do is put the first half of the double stitch, and once the knot is transferred, leave a gap before you bring the first half stitch closer to the previous double stitch. So if you want a bigger picot, leave a bigger gap, and if you want a smaller picot, leave a smaller gap. Okay, once you have decided whether the picot is going to be a small one or a bigger one, hold the half stitch with your thumb and index finger and then do the second half of the double stitch. Okay, so after you put the double stitch, bring the double stitch closer to the previous one, and when you do this, you see a loop being formed. Picot is meant for decorative as well as joining purposes. So when you're joining, make sure the loop is very small, and when you want it for decorative purpose, you can make the loop little bigger. So once the picot is made, again I'm going to tat another 5 double stitches. Okay, so at regular intervals, make sure you leave a picot. When you're making the second picot, make sure the length of the picots are the same. Okay, so this you'll get out of practice. Don't worry about that. Or you have special tools like picot gauges that will help you to get the picots uniformly throughout your ring. Okay, so let me put another picot, and then my final set of 5 double stitches. Okay, I'm done with the double stitches required for the ring. I need to close the ring, so for that what you have to do is hold the last double stitch between your thumb and index finger tightly, and you pull the shuttle thread, okay, till the last double stitch meets the first double stitch. Okay, I've closed the ring. This is how we tat the ring. So keep practicing the double stitches and the picots until we meet in the next video with another pattern. Hope you learned something new from this video. Thanks for watching. Happy tatting.